Kantake, Earth Keeper. Your feet are wet from many lands. Keep your heart clean, and you will see the unseen. Saishale, Wayakantake, carried over nations' water. Saishale, Wehasate, Earth Keeper, you have broken through the protective embrace. Now face the visions put forth long ago. Wisdom from the heart of the mother, revealing the patterns of your heart. You are a teacher, the keeper of the lands. Wisdom from the heart of the mother. You draw forth secret wisdom with every breath. Keep close to us. Waishale, Wakantake. Sit without fear. Trust us to show you light. You have worked hard to hear us, and now it is time that we reveal to you the patterns of your heart. Saishale, Wahasate, Saishale, Wayakontake. Earth Keeper. I am the hawk, and you are the eagle. We are the people of the elements, watching over the land through the heart of this great mother, and her compassion, her companion, Father Sky. We dance in between worlds, carrying visions of peace. The trees and rocks, the protectors stand guard, fly through time, carried by wind and water, burning broken promises of times past. A love that knows many lifetimes seeks to unite your heart and mine. Earth Keeper.
Well, it's Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard, and I want to thank you for your presence here on New Heart Transformation at Soma Fusion Media. I have a special guest that I've been waiting for to arrive for a long time. Actually, a couple of times that we've seemed to have missed each other. And she should be joining us in a little bit, but until she joins us, I'm just going to be chatting away. So that song brings me to something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and that is the many different worlds, or the many different levels of our ability to experience energy, and my curiosity of those things. How can I access those other worlds? How can I access those thoughts and those memories within myself? And I think that's part of why I love hypnotherapy and the work that we do as hypnotherapists, because we do have access to the subconscious mind, obviously with your permission, and it's just amazing what lies there and what you can learn about your patterns and how you behave just from accessing your subconscious memories. Well, memories, not memories, because we don't like to pull those out of the pocket. So we just, access the subconscious mind and behaviors. And it's so cool because I actually have two other hypnotherapists present today. Well, Lainey's not here yet, but she will be soon. And Miss Katie. Hi, Katie.
Hello. How are you?
I told you I was going to call on you.
Oh, well, everybody calls on me, I don't mind.
We're blessed to have you. Katie is actually the one who does everything for me, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm also a
It's
hypnotherapist.
awesome because, huh?
I'm also a hypnotherapist as well. So, but I specialize in regression therapy.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, you do that stuff. That's good.
Yes, I am in regression. Well, you got to remember that as being a metapsychoanalyst, I often tend to follow along with Freudian theory. So therefore, I go back into that inner child work. And I think your guest has just rocked up.
Oh, yay! Let her in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that inner child, Lainey asked, Lainey, yay! Welcome. My beautiful Maori queen. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. We were just getting started with talking hypnotherapy because there are 3 of us hypnotherapists. Well, I'm not qualified yet, but I'm just starting. Katie was talking about childhood, inner child.
I am a metapsychoanalyst, so I follow on with Freudian theory. So my job as a hypnotherapist, I do a lot of regression therapy, which means that I go into that inner child and find out what the issues are to solve them in the present day. So that's exactly what I do. Yeah.
I was just telling her that you're also a hypnotherapist, and I'm not exactly sure which realm you're in that arena. But I'm grateful that you're here. Yay!
Thank you. Yeah, I'm grateful to be here too.
And so to introduce you, you do so many things. Just like my background is a lot of things, but I really love your work with the archetypes. And so I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about what you do. You have a podcast.
Yeah, I do. I have a podcast called Honona Ki Roto, which is in our Maori language, so our native language here in New Zealand, and it means connection within.
Mm-hmm.
So through this podcast, it's kind of an amalgamation of all of the background modalities I've studied over the years. I've always been interested in the mind, the unconscious, the conscious. That's what led me to hypnotherapy and NLP.
Nice.
So I studied that 10 years ago, and I loved it. Like every minute of that learning, I was just soaking it in and enjoying every single bit of it. And I pretty much turned it all inwards and just started to use self-hypnosis as a tool, as one of my own inner tools, and I wanted to really see the results for myself in my own life, and then be able to share that with others. So I pretty much use self-hypnosis, and then that kind of morphed itself over time into some other tools I picked up along the way. One of them being the archetype work. So that's to do with the mind again. Like it's all the unconscious archetypes that are playing in the background for all of us, really. Like we have our main pillars, and this is the work that I learnt through a woman called Lorna Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also Caroline Miss, who wrote Sacred Contracts and I think some other books. And I love her work too, because it really speaks to all of these personality types that we all kind of have, like running around in the background, and how we suppress a lot of it. And the shadow work is bringing that suppressed stuff out and transmuting it or alchemizing it.
That's awesome. Yeah, you also speak of helping others to do that work and go within and to figure it out for themselves. And that's part of what my podcast is about, is, you know, helping others through listening to whoever I end up interviewing with, to hear their story and how they came to connect in on that deeper level, because we all have that innate wisdom. And that's what I love about hypnotherapy, is that we have access to that voice. We have access to that part of ourselves that is so vibrant and ready to show you and grow.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, Definitely.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned in hypnotherapy about the conscious and unconscious mind was like the iceberg metaphor, which is like the tip of the iceberg is like the conscious mind, and then everything below the surface is the unconscious. And so, like, if you look at an iceberg, there's just like this huge chunk below the surface. So it just shows you that there's so much going on down there that we're not aware of or consciously aware of, and that when we start to do this work, this inner work, it starts to reveal itself and it starts to come forward. And I think for a lot of people it can be a little bit scary, you know, like it's not comfortable work a lot of the time. It's not easy, but it's
What it is.
Exactly. And once we've started on the healing path, there's no going back, really. It's like you know too much and you can't unknow.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't want to actually after that, you know. It's okay because at least you know that I guess we call it the theory of mind in my school, but like that 88% of you that is unconscious or subconscious, it's what is there. You have those memories, you have all those things happening, like you said, below the surface. Below the surface lies all the nitty gritty, all the things that you absorbed, all the things that you were programmed by. And how amazing is it that we get to open that doorway? Open the doorway so that we can put inside, we can put these really beautiful things. We can put better things. Possibly. Yes, definitely.
For sure. So over time my hypnotherapy style merged in with like a mind-heart connection. I don't know if you know Heart Math. It's like a organization that studies the heart and all of the wonderful things that the heart does.
I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, Heart Math is a wonderful research organization, and they do these different experiments and tests with the heart. And one of their simple processes they use is a mind-heart connection, and I pretty much use that with all of my clients because it's very simple but very powerful.
Nice. I'm curious about that. I'll have to check it out further.
Yeah. The mind-heart connection is just synchronizing the mind with the heart space, because our heart space actually emanates the most energy in the whole body. It's like our field comes out from the heart, and we're so much in the mind a lot. And I notice, like, sometimes when I'm studying like lots of things with the mind, the unconscious, the conscious, it can get very much in the mental realms. And then we forget about like the embodiment, and we can forget about our power in the other spaces of our body instead of just the brain, because there's intelligence running through the whole body and all the organs. And so that tapping back in with the heart is a powerful way to slow the mind down a bit. Instead of thinking too much, thinking all the time, it's just like going into a slow, more softer, surrendered place, I feel.
Nice. And you have one of the most rich and magnificent lineages that you've come into, your Maori lineage, which I'm actually obsessed. And I think you might have put that together with our mutual friend, and just, you know, I have just a deep love and respect and admiration for the Maori culture. And I think, you know, part of it is that I'm Kikuyu, and we're freedom fighters as well. Sorry, my cat is really naughty right now. I know you have one of those too.
Yeah, I've got two now.
Taking advantage of me, not being able to scold her. anyway, so I feel like, you know, you have that ingrained in you, and it is such a rich culture, and I know that you also do the Maori Healing. So
the Maori Healing side that I learned and tap into is the body work. stuff. So like midi midi, which is like massage, and the energy work. So like using our natural, kind of like Reiki, but it's our own version of it. It's all the same though. It's all just universal healing, love, energy. And we all have it. We all have that access to channel through that beautiful universal love frequency, and then just putting that through your hands and using that on the body, like laying on the hands, using the hands to heal, to touch. And yeah, it's really beautiful work. And I also teach mothers baby massage, pepe midi midi. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you think that your Maori lineage helped you when you were rediscovering yourself, I guess, remembering, recalling all those bits of you and the strengths in you and this innate wisdom that you have and all the things that we get to do and learn and forward?
Definitely, it was a huge catalyst in my journey, reconnecting back to my tribal roots, because growing up, I didn't have a lot to do with it. Like, I always had it in my heart and in my soul, but we never really connected on a physical level, like going back to our tribal lands. We didn't go back very much. We didn't go back to the marae, which is our central, like, whare, the house that we go to, like a temple. We didn't do that a lot growing up. And then when I got to about 18, I had a massive tragic thing happen, and my sister passed away, and that catalyzed me into going back to my land and back to my roots. So when I did that, it was amazing. Like, everything was just unfolding so rapidly, and I was connecting so deep, and I've never looked back. Like, I actually ended up living there, and I still live there, and I have my kids there, and my husband's from there, and so yeah, it's a beautiful journey, reconnecting back to your tribal roots, for sure. It's powerful.
And especially in cultures that are quote unquote dying, which I know that Maori was one of them, and I know that my Kikuyu is another one, where our language was kind of vanishing, but now it's reappearing because our generation has brought it back and wants to learn and wants to, stay in those traditional ways, and so it's really beautiful.
It's beautiful, yeah. Where is that? Is it Kikuyu?
Kikuyu, yeah. We're East African in Kenya.
Oh, wow.
And my mother passed when I was really young too, but I have a few Kikuyu friends, female, who do speak Kikuyu, and I have my uncle and my cousin in Kenya and my auntie that also speak Kikuyu, and so I hope to go back and recover my Kikuyu language, which is actually kind of similar to when I listen to Maori. It's interesting how those are similar.
Yeah, very interesting, because a lot of the roots languages are quite similar. They're really, like, I call them heart languages. They're of the heart. Yeah, they really, like, tap into a deeper vibration, and you're not just hearing it on a mind level, you're really feeling it in the heart. Yeah.
Well, because they're complex. Man, I only know Keora. That's all I know. It's a good one to know. Katie's actually from Australia, right, Katie?
Yeah, I come from Australia. I moved over to the United States 6 years ago, but I'm from Adelaide.
Oh, cool.
She knows
Australia.
But yeah, no, I was just gonna say, Lainey, the what you were saying about the way that you were doing practicing is exactly the same thing I do. We have the same philosophy, same drive as to why we do what we do. In fact, I'm actually when I'm not practicing, I'm actually a full-time writer, and I write this stuff out from my higher self and put it out to the public so that they can learn through me.
Cool. That's awesome. I'd love to read some of your writing.
Sure. If you're on Facebook, we can connect. That's fine.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Nice. It's awesome how this actually came together after us missing and crossing paths. And I know you're with your babies today.
Yeah, they're being really good. They're sitting outside on the grass, and I was like, just stay on the grass, please. And they're being really good.
That's nice. How old are they?
10 and 5.
Oh, that's great. Well, I didn't want to keep you too long, but I definitely wanted to chat because we've been building this for a while, and
Yeah, for sure.
it's just a pleasure to finally meet you and chat with you and see
Yes,
you.
and we will do it again.
Definitely. I don't want to keep you from your babies too long, but was there anything else that you wanted to talk about or add?
Yeah, just if anyone wants to connect with me, I'm on Facebook, Lainey Asher. My podcast is on Spotify, and I think it's Spotify and iTunes, and it's Honona Kiroto, but it's a little bit hard for those that don't know how to spell that. So yeah, find me on Facebook.
So I'll send you a link so you can post it as well. But I want you to spell your name so that because they might not spell Lainey right.
Yeah, it's Laine, and Asher, Asher.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been studying hypnotherapy? How long do you have to go?
In June, I'll be able to see clients. I started in December, and I am going through HMI, which is Hypnosis Motivation Institute, and it's out of LA. And
Nice.
it's just George Kappas is running the school right now, but his dad, John Kappas, amazing a wealth of knowledge, and it's just so beautiful what we were able to do. I'm completely in love and blown away by what seems so magic is not really that magic, you know?
Yeah, there's a formula.
Mm-hmm. There is a formula, and it's super simple and super awesome. Yeah.
Yay, cool.
Yes, and we also have NLP in there, and all kinds of different imagery programs, and
yes, NLP is great too.
Yeah, and just really rich roots. They do energy stuff, anything that you can think about. Smoking cessation and hypnobirthing and whatever it is that you could dream of. We have that.
Yeah, there's almost like you can.
Familiar with, so you can reach into the more creative aspect of yourself. And
Nice.
so yeah, I actually have created the American Hypnosis Association has like these lectures that are usually about an hour, and I have created one. So I have to graduate before I can present it, and I graduate in December, and then I'll present it, and hopefully the AHA will take it up. But it does teach you
Nice.
how to tap into that, since my whole thing is really about balance of the left and right hemispheres of the brain, and the fact that we are all artists, whether you say so or not. We all have this natural capacity and capability to create.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah. So
I can't wait to hear about that and see that.
oh, thanks. Yeah, it's been years of me holding. I have this I have this thing that I do, and I've been holding it for years and tried to create a class and tried to create this and try to show people how to do it. And I've done it Facebook Lives, like I've offered 3-day programs to help people to try to, but now it makes so much sense to do it from a hypnotherapy perspective, and now that I can explain it's an ideomotor response and this is how it's happening and this is what we're tapping into and this is the history of it and all these things that I never would have thought of before. You know, Pollock was doing this kind of, Pollock the artist was doing this kind of work, and Jung, it's a Jungian thing, and just I was blown away at how no, Farida, actually, you're really not creating something that hasn't been done before. You have your own unique twist on it, but
yes, you're refining it in your own unique way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a slap, but it was a good slap. It's like, okay, well, I have the history to explain it.
Yeah. You got stuff to back it up.
Yeah. So, and I also learned there's use of sigil. I'm not really even sure how to pronounce the word, but like basically symbols, you know, so like petroglyphs and stuff like that, this work kind of runs along the lines of that as well. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Sigils and symbology.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a trip, and it really is a trip. You know, when we take the time to just sit and be present in ourselves and you know, see what happens. Just even if it's 5 minutes of breath, just breathing and paying attention to breath, you're going to hear a voice, you're going to see an image, something's going to come for you. If you put your hand to paper, it's going to tell you something. If you put a voice recording and just talked, you know, off the top of your head, you would receive, you know, amazing things.
Yes, just getting quiet enough and still enough to hear the clear voice coming through, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Katie, do you have anything you want to add or ask, or?
No, I just noticed that you actually do tantric practicing as well.
Yes, she does.
I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, you're right up my alley now. Oh my god, you and I are the same person? I don't know.
Yes, I love tantra.
No, I do too.
I would have to say who wouldn't. Once you find out.
I go one step further though with tantra. I actually influence it into my rites, and I also write erotica as well. So I go one step further.
Oh, nice.
She dabbles in many things just like us.
Yeah.
I'm a woman with many hats, what can I say?
I think once you're on this path, you just can't stop, and it's like your passion's constantly ignited by so many beautiful things.
That's so true.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, so what am I going to be today? It's like, okay, now I'm going to be a therapist today. No, I'm going to be a counselor, because I have all the modalities. And so, and now I'm going for my, I'm a candidate PhD in integrated alternative medicine. So, which is basically an amalgamation of all the psychology modalities and the alternative, as well as going into psychic development and metaphysics and so on and so forth. So I've got like everything going. So when people ask me, what do you do? I'm like, I don't know. You know, what am I going to be today? So I appreciate
yes, it's fun.
It's
you
like
can play all these different roles.
I find somebody that actually does what I do.
I hear a little voice over there.
Yeah, the babies are coming back now.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and maybe another time we can connect as well. I'm here, you know, every Friday. Hello.
Hi.
Do your babies speak Maori?
Yes, yeah. They go to like
Yay!
a full immersion school.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah, we'll catch up again for sure. I'd love to hop on again.
Sounds good.
Cool talking to you guys. Thank you.
Cheers. Have a great one.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Well, thank
that
you
was
so
fun.
much for being present here today. Wasn't that wonderful?
That was fun.
Yeah, she's great. I thought you would appreciate her. I didn't tell you the secrets, so I'm glad that you discovered.
No, I did. I went after you got the name spelling. I'm like, okay, so I found the name. Oh my god! And then I went down the page. Like I went to her page, her fan page. I'm like, oh my god, she does tantra. I'm like, oh my god, she's like me.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was introduced to her through a friend who was like, yeah, you guys have a lot in common. And then I looked, I was like, oh yeah, we do. That's pretty awesome.
It's very rare to find people that are on the same wavelength who practice the same things though, because each to their own. In terms of the people, when we study NLP, when we study hypnotherapy or the various modalities in psychology, especially in the alternate, we all formulate our own ways of doing things. Like energy healing is not just one size fits all. It's you incorporate your own experiences and your own theories of how we should be there is one way to practice, but there's multiple ways to put it into practice.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's fascinating to see that there are a lot of people out there. I mean, that like Lainey said, she's about Reiki. They have a different sort of Reiki. It's the same thing, in New Zealand. So it really depends on, and as well as cultural upbringing. So if each culture is to their own, of course, our own influences, that like shamanism. Shamanism is one thing that's very popular in the world as well. And a lot of people are going into shamanism to see the alternative. And you could be going to a witch doctor for a week, for all I care, But each to their own. Most of them are going to do exactly the same thing, and they all are very, very heart-centered if you find the right one.
Yeah, I like that she brought that in there for sure.
Yeah.
And you probably will, because if you're at all motivated to do this work, then you're gonna find.
Yeah, and you'll find too that the best of people, or the best of practitioners, especially, they're the ones that have actually done the deep inner shadow work. They're the ones that have worked out what their traumas are. They know how to practice what they preach. They know how to walk their talk. Because in order to be the best therapist or counselor or coach to provide valid insight to your clients is to pretty much work on yourself.
Yeah.
And so when you've worked on yourself, you can give the valuable insight that is required to give that guidance or that healing. So, it's a good thing.
Otherwise, it's just a hoo-ha.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna breathe on you, and you're healed. That's not healing. Unfortunately, you can't just wave a magical wand and say, "Zip-de-dee-dee-da." So
No. Yeah, it's not going to get anybody anywhere for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much again, like I said, for hosting this for me, so I have the opportunity to just chit chat with people.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful.
But we will be back next Friday.
Yes, we'll be back next Friday. I don't know what's going to be on next Friday, but we'll be here.
Absolutely.
So thank you all for listening. I appreciate you. Until next week.